guys, so let's come up into standing. So the theme for today's class is shifting or transferring weight. So we're just going to have an experience of how that feels in the different exercises that you guys already know, but it might just give you like a little bit of a different sensation. So today you're going to come to the middle of your mat and you're going to turn so that you're standing horizontally along your mat. So separate your feet slightly. Big toes are going to be in line with each other. Just take a moment to let your arms relax. Give your hands and your wrists and elbows a little bit of a shake. And then just let them settle beside you. Get a little bit of length along the back of your neck. And take a moment to close your eyes or lower your gaze towards the floor in front of you. And as always, I like to start a session just at the moment of connecting to your physical body and connecting to your energy, just so you can observe how you are feeling today. And every class or session that we do is going to be slightly different and register differently on our bodies based on how we're feeling. So let's just stand for a moment, connecting your feet to the ground and imagine your head floating towards the clouds. And start to become conscious of your breath. You don't necessarily have to change your breathing, but become aware of it. Become aware of the movements of your ribs and your spine as you inhale and exhale. Become aware of your internal organs as you breathe. We're just going to take one more deep inhale, filling your body as much as you can with oxygen, with energy, and then hold your breath at the top just for a moment. Open your mouth and sigh it out. Blink your eyes open, and we're going to go into a roll down. So when you're ready, look towards your feet, and then just start peeling through your spine. Just let your arms go heavy. Feel the weight of your crown, soften your knees, go as deep into the stretch as your body allows. Remember, this might be the first stretch you've done today, so don't force it. Take a little breath in here, and then start unraveling, start rolling yourself upwards. Feel the fronts and the backs of our bodies connect, lifting up and tall, and then roll your shoulders back and around for a moment. And then you're just going to let your hands settle on the shelf of your hips. Now keep your center line still, bend your knees, and tap your right foot. So I'm doing same foot as you today. Tap right foot to the side and bring it back in. Now left foot to the side and bring it back in. Right foot. So just keep going at your own pace. And notice the connection to your center as you move your leg away from your midline. So our legs are heavy, yeah? These are heavy, heavy appendages that we've got here. So you'll start to notice the surprising amount of work into your center in order to keep yourself upright and stable. Notice the work coming into that standing leg to support you. And we're going to do just one more time. Say to yourself, big toes in line, straighten your knees and relax. Let's take one inhale, reaching all the way up. Connecting fingertips to partners and open your arms wide and just allow your arms to settle. We're going to do another roll down. Nod your chin. Feeling that articulation of your spine. Notice how your scapula glide wide as you round your rib cage. And then stay there for a moment. Put your fingertips to the ground. If that means you need to bend your knees, then you bend your knees. And now start to shift your body weight a little bit forwards on your toes, but don't fall over. And then rock a little bit backwards on your heels. And just notice as you bring your body weight forward, can you feel how much more the lower abdominals have to connect? And when you shift a little bit back, then you can almost hang on your joints. You actually don't need to use your abs so much when you shift your hips back. And then bring yourself onto the centers of the arches of your feet. Take a breath in, and then roll back up. Unravel yourself as you come all the way upright. Front and back bodies connecting and lifting tall. Once again, roll your shoulders back and around. And then place hands onto the shelf of your hips. Bend your knees slightly. Now, step your right foot and bring your center line with you. And then come back. Left foot. Bring your whole body weight with you. So this is a very different sensation. We're still doing the same action of the feet, but we are changing where our body weight is. Where is our center? So this is quite a lovely way to start to wake up the sides of the body, right? So you can feel now the obliques a little bit more. You can maybe feel the gluteals on the sides of your hips a little bit more. And I have quite a nice awareness of what my feet are needing to do when I do this as well. So you have an opportunity to stand and come back. Let's do one more time to the right. One more time to the left. Come center, hold it, look down, or your feet in line. Straighten your knees. We inhale, reach up. And exhale, open arms wide and let them settle. Let's do another roll down. Nod your chin. Feeling that lovely release through the back of the neck, the mid-spine, the lower spine, and all the way down you come. Now place your fingertips to the ground, bend your knees if you need to. Now you're going to bend your knees as if you're sitting in a chair. And then you're going to straighten your legs as much as you can manage, but you've got to keep your fingertips to the ground. Bend your knees. And then lengthen and extend. Notice when you bend your knees that there's a lovely connection to abs, but you're also loading your leg muscles at the front. When you straighten your legs, it shifts into a release of the hamstrings. So this shifting of body weight, being our pelvis, is going to start changing the workload on the legs where we feel it. One more time, bend and stretch. And now soften your knees, roll up into standing, abs connecting, rooting into the heels of the feet, back line of the body connecting, and lifting tall. Rolling your shoulders back and around. And then, once again, your hands go onto your pelvis. Bend your knees slightly. Take a small step to the right. Take a small step to the left. And now you've got a wide stance with your legs. Straighten your knees. You're going to pivot your right foot so your toes rotate. And then you're going to rotate your toes back to the front. Left foot, you pivot on the heel and turn your toes. And then bring it back. Now use your mat to tell you if you're in the correct placement. So your foot is parallel to the long edge. And then it's parallel to the short edge. Pivot the left foot, it's parallel to the long edge. And pivot. Now right foot one more time and you stay here. Bend the front knee. And press back. And again, bend the front knee. Try to get the knee tracking in line with that second toe. Bend and press. We're going to do two more. Bringing your center of mass with you. And we're going to do one more time, center of mass. And now press back and stay here. Now, legs stay straight. You're going to let your pelvis shift towards the back. And then bring yourself back to the center. When you bring your pelvis back, do you feel a stretch on that right inner thigh? Beautiful. And release. Guys, the trick is to keep the obliques working so you have that long spine. There are no soft curves to this movement. It's all very linear, straight legs, straight spine. And up. One more time. So again, the shifting of your pelvis changes what's happening with the muscles. Come back to the center. Now stay here. And now you're going to bend the back knee and up. And again, just the back knee, so the left knee, make sure it's in line with that second toe. And again, bend and up. Nice, we're going to do another 4. Notice that you are shifting your whole center line, but you notice that it actually feels very different to when you were bending the front knee because of that shifting backwards and the angle of the knee. This is more open, right, on that hip. And upright, hold it, and you pivot the right toes forward. Pivot your left toes, double check alignment, and now bend the front knee, and up you come. Check the tracking of your knee, and you want to make sure that that front heel stays rooted, yeah? So your feet are really acting as your foundation here. Energy up through your spine. Make sure there's enough connection in your abdominals to make no strain in your lower back. One more time, bringing that whole center line with you and stay here. Now both legs are straight. Shift your pelvis back so that your body does a little tipping action forward, and then you bring yourself back up. So now listen, it's probably just me as well. My inner thighs like to get tight if I don't stretch them. But this movement here is a wonderful way to start releasing the adductor muscles. So have you guys done any yoga before? Mm-hmm. A little bit of yoga. You guys have also done some yoga. This is almost a prerequisite for what is called the triangle, Trikonasana. Yeah? Last one. Keep that length through the torso and come upright. Now stay here. The back knee bends and then presses up. So you want to double check that that knee is going in line with the toes. And because this hip is quite open, you might find that there's almost a bigger range, a bigger movement than when we bend the front knee. And we're going to take 3 more. Letting your whole center line transfer with you. 2 more. Good. Last one. And hold. Pivoting toes towards the front. You're going to bend both knees. Push off that right foot, baby step. Push off the left foot, baby step. Big toes in line. Straighten the knees. We inhale, reach up. Exhale, open your arms wide, nod your chin as we go into our final roll down. Heavy arms, heavy head, and now I want you to either put fingertips firmly to the ground. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see what I'm doing. If you're really flexible, then you can put palms flat, all right? Now, keeping your legs fairly straight, start shifting your body weight towards your hands and then shifting back onto your feet. Shifting towards your hands. And can you feel how it suddenly wakes up the upper body, the latissimus dorsi? and then shift back. We're going to do 2 more. And we're going to do just 1 more. Shift, hold it. And now from here, slowly bend your knees to come all the way down into a crouched position. So you're basically in a resting position, but on your feet. And then start to roll around the knuckles of your toes. Guys, if anybody's knees don't like this, please just find a position that works for you. And then change and roll around the knuckles of the toes the other way. And release. So firmly ground into your hands. You're just going to step one leg back, step the other leg back, and we're going to come into a resting position sideways on your mat. Feel free to give yourself any padding that you need under your head, your knees, your feet. Move your position if you need to. Stay here for just a few more moments. Soft connection into your breath and giving yourself a chance to clear your mind. And then on your next breath, bring yourself up onto all fours. So I like to have my hands on the hardwood and I like to have my knees on the mat, but you can shift it however you feel that you need. So from here, you're in a 4-point kneeling position. I want you to step your right hand out to the side, move your body weight with you, and then bring your right hand back in. Now step your left hand out to the side and bring it back in. And right hand, bring it back in, left hand, and bring it back in. Now, step your right knee out to the side. Step, and bring it back in. Left knee, step, bring it back in. Right knee, step, bring it back in. You feel the connection to your core. Step, bring it back in. Now, step your right hand to the right and your left knee a little bit across. And then open your right knee and bring your left hand with. So we're walking to the right side of our mats. Start to move right hand, left knee at the same time. And then when you reach the end of your mat, change and go back the other way. Left hand, right knee. Right hand, left knee. Coordinate your movements. Finding that cross pattern. Bring yourself all the way to the left side of your mat. And then, once again, backtrack. Going into the center of your mat this time. Holding it here. Tuck your toes under. Spread your fingers wide. And on your breath, lift your knees just up off the mat. Just coming into a 4-point position. Finding stability around your joints. Take a little breath in. Exhale, release. Relaxing your feet all the way out. Once again, go into your resting position. Open your knees. Give yourself padding wherever you need. Moving yourself either forwards, backwards, or sideways on your mat so that it feels comfortable for you. Walk your hands together. Put your hands together in a prayer position. And then bend your elbows to take your hands behind your neck, just so you have a chance to take the pressure off the wrists and off the hands. Stay here for just a few more moments. Taking another breath in and out. And allowing your hands to come all the way forward. And then walk your hands towards your knees. You're going to move your hips over to your left. Just tuck your ankles to the side and hold onto the right ankle. Left arm comes up and over for a stretch. Come all the way up. Now, put your left fingertips to the ground, just a little bit behind you. Right hand to the left knee, sit up tall, and going into a little bit of a spiral. So this is called an open twist because you're twisting towards the easy side. So you have quite a bit of range here. And then release. Swing your feet around to the other side. So you're going to now have your ankles on the left. Right arm reaches up and over. Come all the way up. Fingertips to the ground. Hand to opposite knee. Sit up straight and start to look over the right shoulder. Stay here just for a moment. Take a breath in. And then exhale and come back to center. Pivot onto your bum cheek. So now you're going to be lengthways on your mat. Knees bent, toes at the front of your mat. So come a little bit more forward maybe so you've got something to roll back to. Perfect. Arms out. Take a breath in. Exhale, come into your half roll back. So already the half roll back is a transferring of weight. Take a breath in. And exhale forward. And lift up tall. Let's do one more time. And again, draw back, curl the tail under. Lovely. Feel the connection to the abs. And then curl forward and lift up straight. Draw your tail under, coming halfway back. And I'm going to stay here for a moment. Let's experiment. If we take the right arm up, you have shifted the lever. How does that affect the connections? And then bring the arm down. I'm pretty sure everybody's feeling this harder, yeah? Lifting the left arm up. And bring it back down. Good. One more time each side. So it's loading, it's placing extra tension on the abdominals as we move the lever away from the center. And hold it. Take a little breath in. Come forward. And lift up tall. And curl tail under. Take yourself back again to a place where you can feel a connection, no strain in the back. Now, this is going to be different. Can you bring your right knee towards your chest and then place it down? And again, left knee. How does it affect the muscle connections as you bring this heavy appendage close? Can you feel the hips and the abs have to work harder, otherwise you might fall back, right? One more time. Beautiful. Place your foot down. Come forward and lift up tall. Is everybody okay for one more? Just one more, I promise. And curl the tail under. And we hold it here. Now take the right arm out to the right and turn your head and open your chest. And then bring everything back to the center. What's happening now? Left arm. Can you feel how it's loading the obliques? So all of those side abdominal muscles, picking up the workload here as we transfer body weight. One more time to the left. Come back to the center. Hook hands. And roll yourself back onto your mats. Oh, and I think let's stretch legs out. Reach arms overhead. It's never too late for a good morning stretch. Oh, stretch it out and then maybe do a little bit of a croissant to one side. And then a little croissant over to the other side. and come back to the center. So you're going to bend your knees again, placing feet to the ground, arms beside you, decide palms down or palms up, it's completely up to you. We're going up into our pelvic curl. On your next breath, tilt your hips, rolling up towards a bridge position. And in this top position, just pause here for a moment. Double check you've got the tuck of your pelvis, so the gluteals are doing their job, and there is no straining in the lower back. See if you can soften your neck and throat. Take a breath in, and exhale. Start to roll down through your spine. Imprint, and release. And we go again, tilting hips, rolling up into bridge, and I want you to hold it there. Now, anchor your left arm where it is, and bring the right hand up to the sky. Turn your palm to face inwards. Now, open your arm to the side, and bring your arm back up again. And again, as you move your lever outwards, what is happening to the connections on your body? So this is quite a lovely way to start waking up all of those sling patterns, those cross patterns that we use in our bodies. Very functional. Hold it and bring your hand all the way down again. Left arm lifts up. Stay there for a moment and feel it. Turn your palm across and now open your arm to the side. No resting the arm, by the way. You want to keep the tension on the muscles around the shoulder girdle. Notice all of the connections into the gluteals, the obliques, the upper body as you do this movement. The shifting of body weight with the arm, hold it at the top, and then bring your hand all the way down. Stay for a moment, and then roll through your spine, soften through the neck and throat. Really take your time to feel the imprint into the lower back, and release. Now we're going to do one more set. Tilting hips, rolling up into your bridge position. So you're finding again that tuck with the pelvis, the abs are connected. I want you to take your hands and cup your bum cheeks. So start putting more weight on the right foot. So now we're shifting body weight to one leg. Put a little bit more pressure. Can you feel how the right gluteal is firing up? And can you also feel the connection to the opposite oblique? Now, if you can, perhaps you can stand on that right leg and pick the left leg up. If that's too much for you, then just keep the foot down and feel the weight on the right foot. Notice the loading as we stand on the one leg, and then placing foot down. Say to yourself, keep the tuck of the pelvis. Do a little bit of a push of the left foot to the ground. Stay there. Perhaps start putting a little bit more body weight and notice how the connections wake up more. And then decide if you're ready to bring the right leg up or not. You're welcome to keep the foot down and really just focus on finding the connections, grounding into the left foot, weight bearing on one leg, and then placing your foot down. Stay there, let your arms come down, and you get to ripple through the spine. Imprint and release. Nicely done. Toe heel your feet outwards so that they're lined up at the edge of your mat. Taking your arms nice and wide, and then just start small, very small, as you rock your knees and feet from side to side. And with the small movement of the legs, there's going to be almost a rocking action across your sacrum and across the back of your pelvis. And now go a little bit bigger. So maybe now you're rolling onto the blades of your feet. Your knees will be going further to the side. And notice the shift across the back of your pelvis as you increase the range of your legs. So now you might almost be rolling onto one side of the hip. Maybe your sacrum's coming all the way off the mat. And now we're going to make it really big so that you're going to go into your fullest range of movement. Don't force it. So I'm comfortable to bring my knees all the way down, but what I notice on my own body is that the rotation comes all the way up my spine towards my ribs, and at the end, I can feel almost that my shoulder wants to lift up. So that's when I really use my arms to ground. We're just going to take a few more. Let's keep it nice and even. Getting that full shift across the back of your pelvis, and then we come back to the center, pause for a moment, and then hug knees in towards your chest. Tuck yourself into a tight little ball shape. Almost getting a little bit of a stretch between the shoulder blades, getting a feeling that you're pressing your kidneys in towards the mat, stretching out the lower back, and then relax head and shoulders down just for a moment. Just turn your head from side to side, and then bring your head to center. So, bring your knees to a tabletop position right here. Place your hands to the fronts of your knees, and you're going to keep your head and shoulders down. Start to create a little bit of pressure between the hands and the knees. Just a gentle tension. And as you do that, nothing's moving. This is isometric like we did yesterday. Nothing's moving. But can you feel the hip flexors and the lower abs switch on immediately? And then just release and let that tension go. So now we're going to do half that pressure. When you're ready, create just a gentle tension between the hands and the knees right here. Now you're going to keep that tension. Start to bring your knees in towards your chest, but you're still resisting with your upper body. And then start to move your legs away from you and see if you can go a little bit past where you started, but you still have your hands and knees firmly connected. Draw your knees in towards your chest. Can you feel how the hip flexors are working, guys? And then let your knees move away. And when you go past 90 degrees, ooh, can you feel the lower abs working, guys? And let's just do 2 more rounds. So oftentimes we think of shifting body weight of when we're standing upright. But we're now lying supine, and we're still having an experience of shifting body weight. One more time, notice how it loads us differently. Notice how it connects us differently. Bring your legs back, cross your right thigh over the left, and just hug your knees in towards you for a second. So that can be quite intense on the hip flexors. If you want to increase the stretch, you slide your hands down towards your ankles and your feet. And then your next breath, let go. Cross your left thigh over. Place your hands where it gives you the best stretch for that deep left bum cheek now, that left piriformis. Taking just a few more moments. and bring both knees in towards you. So guys, we're going to go into rolling like a ball. Place your hands behind your thighs, legs together, ankles together. Tuck your chin and round your spine because we need to be round in order to roll smoothly. Use your feet to kick. Use your feet to create the movement. So again, this is relating back to shifting body weight. So we're rolling back along the spine and up again, but we're allowing our lower limbs to create the movement, to create the momentum. And now come up to balance for a moment. Bring your hands to the front of your shins, and now you're going to see if you can keep your feet nice and tight. Now roll back and up again. And now that we have removed that momentum, how does it feel? Are you able to connect into your breath to create this movement? Beautiful, guys. Keeping chin tucked in, make sure that you're not hitting your head or neck on the floor. One more. And hold. We'll go to balance. And we're going to place feet all the way down. Nicely done. So now turn onto all fours. I'm just going to pivot on facing towards you. Coming onto all fours. Spreading your fingers out. Wrists in line with shoulders. Knees in line with hips. And from here, we're just going to move a little bit forward. Neutral spine. And a little bit backwards. And again, noticing the loading on the upper body and noticing the loading on the lower body. Taking just a few more. One more. And now center yourself and let's go into a cat stretch. Rounding your spine up towards the sky. Stay here now and do the same shifting backwards and forwards. Staying in a rounded spine as you do this. What's happening with the connections to your body? So for me, when I push back, it really intensifies the stretch across my lower back. And as I come forward, I really find quite a lovely stretch and release between the shoulder blades. One more time. Come forward, hold it, and then lengthen your spine and return to neutral. Balance on your right hand, reaching the left arm out to the side and coming into a thread the needle right here. Stay here for a moment and you can stay, or if you slide your right hand forward, notice that extra stretch along the lats and the side of the body that it gives you. Take another breath, and then just slide that right hand back in. Now make sure that you're firmly rooted. And how about if you were to slide the right leg back? Without falling over, right? And then bring that knee in. Now you can stay here. Or how about if you place your right hand into your lower back? All three of those movements register differently. And placing your right hand back down, come all the way up, stretching that arm to the side. Stay here for a moment. Turn your head and look at your left thumb. Start lifting your arm up and follow it with your eye line. Open up across the heart, pushing into the hand, and then releasing all the way down. Right arm reaches, coming into a thread the needle. Settle here for a moment. Now listen, you can stay here if you want to. You don't have to do any of the variations. See what happens if you slide the left arm forward. Finding that stretch and release across the lats. And then bringing your hand back in. Rooting into that hand, find balance. How about if you stretch the left leg back? How does that affect the stretch? Bringing that left knee in. How about if you place that hand into your lower back? Staying there just for a moment as you breathe. Placing your hand to the floor, and then up you come, reaching right arm to the side. Pause for a moment, look at your right thumb. Start opening up across the heart, pressing one hand to the floor, reaching one hand to the sky, and then all the way down you come. Fantastic. Is everyone good? Awesome. So you're going to slide the right leg back, and you're going to pick up the right leg, not too high. Flex the foot so you've got energy through the heel. And just once again, feel the shifting forwards and backwards here for a moment. Just bring your body weight a little bit forward over your hands and then a little bit backwards as if your heel is going to touch the wall behind you. And then center yourself and hold. And now let's bend the elbows and allow your leg to come up with you. And then straighten the elbows and let your leg come back to that long straight line. So you aren't arching the back. You aren't lifting the leg higher than your pelvis. You're maintaining a straight line. And it's hinging in space, almost like a seesaw in a children's playground. So it's a transfer of body weight, bringing your chest down and leg up. And then hold, pressing up, point your toes, bend your knee, and in you come. Looking very nice, guys. Let's do the other side. Left leg extends back. Lifting leg up. Flexing foot, and then just do a little bit of shifting first. Make sure that your wrists are okay. If you need to adjust your wrist position, then do so. So notice when you have the one leg in the air when we do the push-ups, how different it feels from when you've got your both knees on the floor like a normal push-up. And hold it here, say to yourself. Bend your elbows, allowing your leg to lift. And then up you come and energy through the heel of your foot. Beautiful. So in some ways you might think, well, this is a little bit more difficult because now you're having to balance on the one leg. But what's wonderful is that your leg is actually hinging with your body and it's helping you engage the back line. It's helping you engage your core. Let's do two more. So again, it's that shifting of body weight. One more. Press up and hold it. Point your toe, bring your knee in, and once again, open knees, big toes touch as you sit back, resting your head down, and feel free to do whatever feels good with your arms, but I'm going to bring my hands together, and then bend elbows, placing hands behind the neck again because it gives such a wonderful stretch along the triceps. Taking an inhale and an exhale. And then reach your hands forward. Bring yourself all the way up. And come a little bit forward on your mat if you need to. We're going to go into a plank position just for a second. Extending one leg back, tuck toes. Extending the other leg back, tuck toes. Hold your plank just for a second. Now let your knees hinge down. Relax your toes out and bend your elbows to come all the way to the ground. But see if you can keep your hands where they are as you lie flat. So we're going to be doing a slightly different position with the arms than we normally would. Make sure that you still have your legs slightly separated. Activating bungees, energy through legs, energy through crown. Let's come up into a baby cobra. Lifting eye line, lifting chest. Pause for a moment, feeling that squeeze of the elbows to wake up those mid-back muscles, and then releasing, and down you come. And again, lifting eye line, sending your heart forward. Pause for a moment, energy through your legs, and then releasing down. We're going to do 2 more. Make sure when you come up that you're not taking any strain in your lower back. Work is good, strain isn't. And releasing down. And then on this last one, coming up into baby cobra. And I'm going to ask you to stay here, anchor your legs, and see if you can hover your hands just off the ground here. Now, can you reach your arms forward without dropping your chest? So we're shifting weight. Bend your elbows, hover them just off the ground. And again, reach forward. Notice how it increases the workload. And then bend the elbows and notice how you get an extra squeeze between the scapula. 2 more. Reach, heart up. Create space along your spine. 1 more time. Reach. Bend your elbows, hold it, hands down, and then lower head and shoulders all the way down. Press into your hands, coming all the way up onto all fours. Placing knees underneath hips, hands underneath shoulders, and I think we're ready to go into a downward facing dog. Tuck your toes under. Now, I'm going to break it down. Pressing into hands and feet as you hover the knees up. And then, see if you can shift your hips back a little bit. And then, come forward again to hover the knees and shoulders above wrists. Let's go a bit further. Press away from your hands, send your hips halfway up. And then bend your knees, hover, and come forward. And again, press back, hips up and back. A little bit higher perhaps. Bending knees. So this is a classic transferring of body weight. Press up and back. Now hold it here. Pedal the heels down a few times. Getting that stretch and release along the back of the thigh. And then send both heels down. Tuck in my top. And pause here just for a moment. Relaxing into the back of your neck. See if you can get equal weight on the hands and on the feet with your body suspended in between. Soften your knees a little bit. Start to walk your toes up the mat, coming halfway forward, line your feet up. Walk your hands back. You can either be on flat hand or on fingertips. It's completely up to you. And then just hang there for a moment and shake your head. No, 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 no. Nod your head. Yes, 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 yes. And then start to unravel your spine. Using abdominals as you come all the way up. lifting nice and tall. Roll your shoulders back and around a few moments. I'm just going to turn to face towards you. You don't have to move. And then let them settle. Take a moment. Lower your gaze to the floor or completely close your eyes. And just as we started, take an opportunity to notice your physical body in space. Keeping eyes gently closed, shifting body weight a little bit towards your toes, a little bit backwards towards your heels. And just do that a few more times, rocking forwards and backwards. Say to yourself over the arches of your feet. And then a little bit of a shifting from side to side. So these are all the same movements, the shifting that we brought into the different repertoire today. See if you can find the same connections into your body as you stand here now. Standing evenly on your feet. Taking a deep inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Letting it go. Blinking your eyes open. We take one deep inhale, reaching arms all the way up. Connecting fingertips to partners. Open arms wide. And then once again, giving elbows, wrists, hands a little bit of a shake, maybe knees a little bit of a shake. How did you feel with everything?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
Yes?